Hello and welcome back, everyone. Today I'm on location here at Clifton Reserve, and it's a very small nature reserve, probably less than 5 or 10 acres, at max. I could do a little panorama here, and you could see from the entrance all the way to pretty much the farthest point you can go into. So there's really no trails. There's a little bit of a side spur, I guess, over here. This is actually my second visit, so I'm a little familiar with it. Very small though, and it actually hugs along the Little Miami River over here. And there's a little kind of like, I don't know what you call it, like a little fork, I guess, in the river itself, that is called Rainbow Run, for whatever reason. I'm not too sure. I'm guessing maybe because the water is very iridescent or something like that, but it is what it is. And probably gonna be doing bird photography mainly, but since the place is so small, I could easily just run back to my car over here and switch out, get a tripod and whatever else, if I want to do any landscape shots, of course, because there's plentiful snow on the ground here. And it looks like the river is partially frozen over, so I'm hoping for maybe some ducks or any other kind of bird species out there, any kind of water birds. Maybe are congregating over in the river down there, which I'm going to check out probably first thing here. But yeah, so the moment I drove into here, I saw about 3 or 4 crows just perched all the way up in these trees down over here, which is pretty cool. It's one species I still have not really gotten a photograph of because they're just very smart. And not so much elusive, but they're just really, what do you call it? They just like their space, I guess. They're not really ones to get up front into the camera, so into the spotlight. So, I don't know, but they already flew away, so unfortunately, and so I'm gonna have to go probably down there and see if there's any water birds, or I might just scan the perimeter of this reserve and see if along maybe here there's any kind of smaller songbirds. Because this looks like some nice kind of woodsy kind of edge habitat that might be very nice for that sort of thing. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started. Now, I believe the main attraction of this reserve is actually not so much birding per se, but it is you can rent out this nice little cabin style kind of luxury, almost like a hotel, honestly, or some kind of like hostel, I guess, of that sort. So yeah, but obviously right now it's vacated. No one's in there, I don't think, but and another neat tidbit, I guess, about this location is that the Little Miami, it's outflowing from the nearby Clifton Mill, because we're in Clifton, Ohio here. So that's another cool location. You get Christmas lights and other kind of, there's a covered bridge as well, and obviously the mill is flowing with water and spinning, so it's creating basically a waterfall. So that's a nice scenic location if you want to get some kind of postcard worthy shot, I think. But other than that, yeah, there's not too much else to write home about, at least at first glance. I mean, obviously, like I've said, or keep saying rather, there's a location, or excuse me, there's always a photograph at every location. And it's all about being persistent, kind of opening up your eye and being creative and thinking outside the box in a lot of cases, and just seeing really what you can come up with. So I'm not sure if you can see that, but right where that little island starts to form, the water actually diverges around there and then just kind of wraps around, like kind of stops off right there, and that's where the aptly titled Rainbow Run is at. So looks like it's actually a lot more frozen over than I thought. As you can see, it's almost more than half, and there's a small sliver right in the middle that looks like it's really getting partially frozen because it is very cold out. It's almost single-digit temperatures right now. And so yeah, there's nothing really out here at the moment, at least for like ducks or geese. So I'm thinking from here, I don't know, I might do this little trail down here. It's a very small one though, and it it just dead ends and then you have to turn around again. It's only about a couple handful of feet, honestly. But I'm hearing lots of songbirds, like titmice, nuthatches. I heard a downy woodpecker over here, so more common varieties. I'm hoping for maybe some junco shots. Maybe that'd be pretty cool, but we'll see here. And so I'll go down there, like I said, maybe wrap around the perimeter of this nature reserve. As like I said before, it's really small, as you can tell. and see if we can get a shot. And you know, if all else fails, then I might pull out, you know, some of the other lenses I have in my arsenal, and may experiment with some snow kind of landscape shots or stuff like that. So that's always an idea. That's a good thing about nature photography, I think, and being kind of open, honestly, to all different ideas, all different kind of aspects of it. You know, there's no one genre that I can really tie myself down to. I like to do all of it, so that kind of helps with variety, and I'm never truly bored as a result. So it's pretty nice that way, I think. But you know, I'm gonna take one more quick look here. I'm gonna scan up and down the river here with binoculars and see if there's anything of that sort. And if not, I'm gonna move into over here, and we'll see really what, you know, if there's anything else here, you know, at least for bird life, which sounds like it. So, you know, hopefully I can get a shot or two as a result of that. So yeah, we will see. So I just had my second northern mockingbird, second one this year, and when I filmed the video, so that's pretty interesting. But yeah, it's just, I saw it's in like the thick brush over here, and it flew up to a tree. I'm kind of on the side spur, kind of pretty close, but you know, over here. So I'm kind of out of the way a little bit, but it was just, it flew up on this tree. It's kind of thicket of branches, pretty high up, taller than I am. And then it was just full of berries, and it started eating them and everything. It was really cool to see that. And the shots I got, they're kind of more on the softer focus side. Not really intentional in this case, but you know, still pretty cool, I think. And kind of fits the more muted colors that are more browns and grays that, you know, fill up the frame pretty much, the colors. And yeah, it was just because I had to shoot through all this different brush that's right, you know, before me here. And so it made it a little bit difficult, and I couldn't find a good spot really to get into, as my choices are kind of limited over here. And I was just kind of slowly shifting around a little bit here and there, trying to find the best angle to really get a nice clear view and shot of this mockingbird. But it's just being real nice and quiet, and just calmly eating the berries after staying perched on the same tree branch for a while, which is pretty cool. But yeah, the shots I got were pretty nice. I was shooting at auto ISO. That's something I don't really use too often with bird photography, but you know, in this case it kind of worked out. The shots are probably going to be a little bit too noisy for my taste, so I have to bump that down a little bit and soften it even further. So it's like a balance of, like, my focus was softer because there's stuff obscuring the actual subject in the frame, but I was using a higher ISO, which is going to sharpen that image at the same time. So that might be something later on the computer I might experiment with, maybe trying out the Orton effect or something similar to that, or just simply, you know, bumping down the sharpness and increasing more softness. Just something, it's a nice little balance to strike really with the image, I think. So, you know, we'll see, I guess. But, you know, ISO 2000 is pretty high, and I really don't shoot with that too often. But, you know, in the moment, I'm glad I did, because if I didn't, the shots would probably be really underexposed for this very overcast light, as you can tell. So, yeah. And then shooting wide open, as usual, with wildlife shots. Most wildlife shots I take, and I was at about 6.3 for an f-stop. And then from a shutter, I kept it around 320th of a second, 400th of a second. Those kind of shutter speeds are pretty decent for shooting handheld, especially with this big 5-pound lens I have here, and holding it steady as well. So I tried to get some video of him, but it was just, you know, I think it flew away by now. I haven't seen it in a couple minutes, so unfortunately. But you know, I got the shots, I think, so they should be pretty good. And I'm looking forward to editing those and sharing them with you here. So yeah, I'm just gonna say, it's like bird photography is all about persistence, and it's all about, you know, really taking the time to be patient, and you know, just listen around, you know, be real nice and quiet. It's like a calm focus of just walking wherever you are, the woodland or where else, and just calmly listening to all the different sounds and, you know, bird song and calls that you might hear, and then just, you know, reacting accordingly, and just having your lens, your camera, you know, all the settings dialed in, to what you want, and to make a well exposed photograph for that day, and the lighting conditions and everything. So yeah, so just keep everything ready and just being persistent, and that can reward you with a photograph or two you can take home that you'll be proud of course. So that's really the name of the game with this kind of thing. So I was literally about ready to give up and just switch to landscapes, but I'm kind of glad I didn't now, because I was almost didn't even go down here, but then I did, and I got a few shots I think they're going to turn out pretty well. So it's all about being patient. So hearing lots of different songs, bird calls rather, not so much songs because it isn't spring yet. But it's on its way soon at least. And so yeah, I'm gonna probably do another slower perimeter loop around the reserve and see if there's anything else of that sort. But yeah, I think so far I've had about a dozen unique bird species, which is pretty cool. That's a pretty good amount for given how small this location is, and most of them are heard rather than seen, at least for the birds themselves. But that's okay, of course. So yeah, it's a good morning out. It's very, very cold. I can't feel my hands really, but getting photographs is always worth it, I think. So it's been a good morning out, and hopefully it stays that way. So I'll hang around here for a few and then probably call it quits for the morning here. But let's see if we can get a few more bird shots in before we actually leave. Wow. Okay. Wow. So, just when I was talking about being patient and everything, about, taking bird photographs, and I was literally like, man, I was on my phone looking away from this direction, from where the Mockingbird was at, and I was just like updating my eBird checklist, adding species, and I'm at about a dozen right now at least. But anyways, and then I hear this like rustling in the tree branches, like right where I'm kind of at over here, literally like a couple feet that way or whatever, and the Mockingbird's literally just sitting there, just hanging out, just kind of staring in my direction even. So he just perched right there, super silent. I didn't even hear it. And so I'm not even in a position. I'm turned around, like I said, my back's facing against him. My lens is, at my side. Nothing's like ready. So I'm just like slowly like shift and turn around, like make like a pivot. And so I had to like put my phone away slowly, and I'm just like carefully reach for my camera and telephoto and see if I can take a shot. And I got a handful of great ones, tack sharp, eye level, drops out that background real out of focus with the wide aperture, which lets in a lot of light, of course, as well. And I was just really excited for those. But the one, like, I guess downside is that, they're really good, pictures, I think, overall. Really good, solid, close-up bird portraits of a bird I don't really get to see too often, but lately it seems like I'm seeing it very much so. But the one problem is one tree branch like cut right across their neck, and so I don't know. I might try and recover those. Shoot, to fall over. I might try and recover those and see if I can clone out the branch. If not, it's okay, I guess. It's not really the best kind of bird image, I guess, in that instance. But I mean, the moment alone is pretty cool on its own. But right now he's just this Mockingbird, this one individual that I keep, waiting on, I guess. He's just, looks like he's all warming up. He's a big old floof over there. He keeps perching right by those berries and eating them, which is pretty cool. So, it's like I said, birds, it's like, it's all about being patient, and it's about persistence. And, you gotta, it's neat to watch this one individual and its behaviors, because I'm seeing how consistent they really are. I've seen it fly over to the river, to the river's edge at least, take a drink, come all the way back to the berries over here on this the tree branch, and he just kind of hangs out and he goes back and forth, so it's pretty cool. And then every once in a while you come over here, like I said, real close, or at least in this instance he did, or she. So yeah, it's really cool. It's just really cool to see this bird behavior. So it's really neat to see them, you know, see their habits and everyday life and all that sort. And if you're wondering why I'm like struggling, it's because I'm balancing onto this stack of logs that are snow covered, so I have no idea where my balance is at. And there's also tons of thorns around, literally the whole entire, like, just tons of, yeah, vines and thorns, and oh gosh, and they're sticking to my down jacket too. So lots going on, and and yeah, he's still hanging out up there, so I don't know what I'm gonna do here. And there's a lot of vines around here. It's like every sign is telling me not to come up here, but here I am. And I even got some better photographs of this mockingbird hanging out and eating on the berry branches, so it's pretty cool. So I think I'm gonna call it quits in a few, just because my hands are freezing, but I'm gonna wait out a little bit longer and see if I get some better mockingbird shots. And there's so many vines around here, holy crap, there's so many. Anyways, I'm gonna be quiet now and see if I can get some more shots. So here we go. All right, everyone, I'm getting real serious about this bird. So I actually went back to the car and pulled out the tripod so I can mount it on there, have it nice and stabilized, and that way I don't have to worry about camera shake or just having to hold it up for so prolonged periods of time to really get any shots. And I'm getting lots of better footage, both video and photo stills of this mockingbird, so it's actually going very, very well. But my hands are really freezing. I even got some hand warmers while I was back at the car over there, but it's just absolutely frigid out, and it's starting to get some snow flurries as well, which is, you know, just kind of adds to the whole kind of environment, I guess, even though there's already plenty of snow as is. So yeah, some great shots though, very up close details. It's just, I'm just still watching it habitually fly right across the river, kind of perch somewhere over down that way, and then just fly all the way back over to this berry branch. And it's being very territorial. It's literally chasing and driving out any of robins. There's quite a few robins around here as well, just perched around, and a few of them singing their songs. But even though it's pretty early, but he's just driving them out. He's just like, you know, just wanting them to get out of the way, just because I guess he just really is being protective of this food source, which is quite interesting, because, you know, robins would probably eat those berries as well, whatever kind they are. So look like some kind of blueberries, I guess. But yeah, it's just interesting to see this and really take my time, even though no matter how small the location is, and just hunker down and really get to learn more about birds, I guess, just through direct observation such as this, which is pretty cool. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, can't complain for a good morning, I think, even though it is very cold. So I'm probably going to end the video here, unfortunately, but it's been, yeah, a great morning out photographing this northern mockingbird and pre-scouting overall this really small location, and seeing more of what it has to offer. And it definitely can deliver on some great photographs, I think, in this case. So it really delivered on that promise I made earlier about any location. You know, you can take a photograph and make it a worthwhile trip out there. So yeah, leave it at that. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, everyone. This has been Clifton Reserve. Until next time, make sure to get out here, as I'm seeing he's just flown back. So make sure to get out here. Thank you.